Day vacation. So you may not be home. You may be with your parents who perhaps you haven't seen for a year and a half. Silver Springs, Maryland, #1 on the list. Kentucky, Denver, Milwaukee. I hear Denver's going, here DC is going through an incredible hot spell. So hopefully you're all staying cool. This is a cool session today. We've got a lot of cool things to go through. I'm here to make you cool. Hello from Seattle. Hello from the Jersey Shore. I'm guessing that's a holiday vacation at the Jersey Shore. Hello, hello, hello. Keep coming in. It's incredible. This is it. This is our last class. I can't believe we made it. 10 sessions. Can you believe that? 10. 10, that's 2.5 months together. We barely knew each other back then. Do you know in the first class, I did not even have a green screen. Can you believe that? Now we got a whole production studio practically in my dining room set up just for you, all of you. Let's see what our count's at. Oh, we're at 143 people today. I hope a lot of people made a special effort to join us for this final class. Okay, so Rita, you're being awfully nice to say you'd like to continue with another 10 classes. I think that you'll discover that you really enjoy having another hour or an hour and a half in your day on Thursdays, the first time you get a little break. Michael says, I haven't even missed one. He was here for all 10 hours. Well, 9 hours plus today. Thursday therapy? I'm not sure. I will say, as I was reflecting on the other classes, well, the rest of you are coming in. Come on in. As I was reflecting on the other classes, I did remember the time we talked about cheese and mayonnaise. So we've covered a lot of territory. We've kind of strayed away from digital marketing from time to time. Hello from rainy Delaware. Yes, great to see you all. Okay, it's great to see you all. We're going to, let me see if I can find where my advancer is here. Let me get myself set up. What's happening? It's like amateur hour again. We are, here we go, live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. This is actually the last live broadcast that we're going to do for quite a while. So enjoy, for those of you that are tuning in on social media, enjoy this, because next Thursday, we start a new semester and we're not going to be broadcasting those first classes. So if you are interested in the class, please do register. And in fact, you can register using a referral code. I'm going to go through that in just a minute. First, I am going to thank you, our founding sponsors, Feather, which helps you, associations, with your online paid advertising. You remember we had a whole class about paid advertising. Feather is the software that can make that happen. You'll remember Bill, who came in and talked to us from Association Analytics about reporting and dashboards. You can save 15% with Association Analytics because you are a student. OpenWater is the virtual event platform used by associations everywhere. They are partnered with ASAE. Many of my clients use them. You can save 10% on your OpenWater first-year license. PropFuel, you remember Dave Will came and talked to us about conversational marketing, a very special type of marketing. A lot of people use this to help, especially with their billing and renewals. You can save 50% on your setup fee at PropFuel. And then finally, my company, Ricochet, helps you with your digital strategy and digital roadmaps and your digital marketing and more. Now, if you're watching online, you should talk to a friend who is in this class right now and ask them for that referral code, referral. That will save you $50 on your student tuition. Classes start on Thursday, next Thursday. Tom and I don't get a break. And if you use referral and somebody in this class is your referrer, they also get a $50 Amazon gift card. And I just said Tom's name, and I'm going to forget to do this. This is our last class. So I'm asking Tom if he will come off camera and say hello to everybody.
Hey, guys. Hey, Chris. We are also not seeing your screen/slides. So I think everybody can see me. Hello. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for being so kind and so engaged. It's been really fun.
That's a lot of fun. Talk about amateur hour. We made it this far, Tom.
It's tech issues. Gotta love them.
So I'm going to change cameras. Hi, everyone. This is us live without the screens. And then I'm going to change back to hopefully, all right. And I'm going to make one more special change here. And there I am. All right. So I would say that the number one mistake I made this semester was allowing my mother to text me in the middle of a class. And I thought that I took care of that. That mistake, pretty close to the top. It's maybe a tie almost. Yes, back in action. We're back in action. All right, today's class, we have a very different agenda. So there is one thing that is not on this agenda. Can somebody tell me what is not on this agenda? I see some correct answers. Jill got it. Kathleen got it. Cindy got it. Stephanie got it. Nanette got it. Sean, Megan. There is no guest speaker today. Today, we are all guest speakers. And Andy actually said we're missing snacks. That's true. I'm sorry, there are no snacks. Hopefully at your own house, there are snacks. And there's no beer. Although I'm going to admit something to you all. Tom and I were getting ready just before this class. I told him, I'm really thirsty. I got to get a glass of water. I'm going to go off camera for a second. And I just walked over to the fridge. I have a bottle of that margarita it's like pre-made margaritas from Costco. So I just took a couple of hits of that and then I came back. I decided that I'm on 4th of July vacation already. So if you've got snacks or if you've got margaritas in your house, now is the time to grab it. This is going to be a pretty relaxed session today. This is meant to have a lot of fun with all of us together. Also, this is going to be maybe the most valuable session for you, even though we don't have a guest. And that is because Daryl emailed the Academy a couple of days ago and had a very special request. So Daryl, if you are in the room today, can you hop onto the chat and say hello? There's Daryl. I think it's Daryl. Daryl, I'm sorry, I forgot your last name. Yes, there's Daryl right now. Daryl, in the chat, can you tell us what you requested or what we're going to be delivering to you today? Yeah, Daryl wasn't ready. Daryl has a one-man quiz. Oh, and I'm not seeing him. Okay, or maybe Daryl's like, it wasn't this Daryl, it was a different Daryl. So Daryl emailed me. He did not say, we'd like to distribute cash. He said, look, my boss expects me to give a summary of everything that I learned in class to, I think, his department. And then I realized, oh yeah. So if your boss pays for this stuff, maybe when they're sending you to conference or training, they expect you to come back and do a little presentation about everything you've learned. And this class is that presentation. So you are, after class, of course, like always, going to receive slides for you to steal. So you will get a PDF of this. We are going to cover the highlights from all previous 9 classes in one big push. So that's going to make it really easy for you to deliver to your boss. All right. Okay, so that's what the recap is. Then we will do a celebration because at the end of that recap, you are officially done with class. You will earn your credit for attending today, that class. I will explain to you then how credits and certificates work, and then we'll be saying goodbye. And we'll all go on vacation and we'll have our fond memories together. All right? All right, let's get started. So let's begin with exercises. We haven't done exercises for a while. I'm going to say first, please connect with me on LinkedIn if you haven't already. There are a few of you that did not. I will eventually find you. Connect with me on LinkedIn and get those profile pictures looking nice and professional, kind of sort of like that. And make sure you got a nice vanity URL set up. Be a digital marketer. Have a digital presence. Tell everyone that you are building new skills. Actually, not that you are building new skills, that you built new skills. Tell them it's done. Tom, if you could put into the chat the links for our live broadcast on YouTube, on Facebook, and our live broadcast on LinkedIn going on right now. I would love it if you guys could comment on it. If you had a good experience in the class, please make a nice comment about that. Let us know how it went for you. This has been a lot of work for us. It's a bit of a passion project. And so we appreciate any kind words that you have. And if you have some helpful critique, we're open to that too. Just maybe don't put it on LinkedIn, put it in an email to us and tell us what we could do better. And you're going to have an opportunity to do that kind of systematically later. I'll explain to you what's happening at the end of the class. All right, jumping into the class recap. You may not remember this, but there are 304 students total enrolled. And I see today we have 201 people in the classroom. We had on average 225 students in every class. And it was really close to that number all along the way. It was really something to see all of you. This greatly exceeded my expectations. I was hoping to get 100 people, and we did triple that. You represent about 74 associations and about 29 companies. It's really a fantastic group. All right, we are jumping into the recap now. So here we go. Class 1. You may not even remember this. Way back in the day, we talked about 3 marketing eras. The old school awareness era, which was kind of the Mad Men era. The direct era, which was a lot around like Sears Direct Catalog and the beginning of telemarketing and the 800 phone number, the toll-free phone number. And then finally, the digital era. And for most of us, that's what our careers have been built in, the digital era. We are part of the digital era, but we are also part of a long history of marketers all building upon each other. We discussed the marketing funnel. This is our fancy new marketing funnel. So we're working on design stuff for the next class. And we've done a little bit of design work for the slides. So you get a taste of what some of those slides are going to look like. This is our marketing funnel. You remember, we go through steps in that marketing funnel from awareness to consideration to purchase and renewal. I kind of group purchase and renewal together. And you'll often think about campaigns that target one of those steps on the funnel. You might have campaigns that are about driving awareness. You might have campaigns about driving purchase. We typically do campaigns and set goals around one of the phases of the funnel. We talked about let me start again. We talked about data protection laws, and I said, I'm going to have this by the end of the next semester. I might look like a lawyer, especially when I'm wearing that suit, but do not think that I am a lawyer. So you need to, when you are considering all of this, and by the way, we got some questions about when and how to use data. So I'm happy to answer questions, especially as they kind of fall into this these legalities, but I will always say you need to talk to your lawyers too. So we talked about the CAN-SPAM Act. We talked about CASL, talked about GDPR. I got it there, right direction. And CCPA, not COPA, that's for children. CCPA, we talked about CCPA. So these were the big data laws. That presentation has a ton of details about all of them, so you can make sure that you are compliant. It was, I think, a really good class for us. MarTech stack. So what does MarTech stand for? I want to make sure you guys walk. MarTech stands for, show me in the chat here. I'm also going to, there we go, marketing technology, or 100% correct. And you know what? There's another acronym I should have had in here, but is not in here. Remind me what CTA stands for. Call to action, you're right. While we're at it, what's CPC? CPC, cost per click. And what's CPM? That's the tricky one. Yeah, cost per thousand. All right, so that was a diversion. We talked about MarTech stack. We said that there are really 6 big parts to your MarTech stack. Your AMS, like the foundation, right? Your email solution, your social management, advertising, maybe that's Feather. Marketing automation. I'm going to remind you all, I talked about email automation, which is just the email channel, but you need to be thinking about marketing automation, which is multiple channels: email, text message, push notifications, phone calls, voicemail drops, and the systems that you can use to manage all of those channels together. HubSpot's the one that I use a lot. Business intelligence solution, that is your analytics platform. That's what Association Analytics was talking about. Your core MarTech stack needs to be considering all of these elements, all 6 of these elements. All right. Let me tell you, I am off my game. I think it has absolutely nothing to do with that margarita, though. I think completely unrelated. All right. I believe that the was about email and copywriting. This is my sense from the feedback I got. And so In that class, we talked about copywriting basics. And I said there are these 5 things that you need to be sure to be thinking about when you're writing. First of all, it's not about me, it's about them. It's not about us, it's about them. And in fact, I even told you that when I was the CMO at the American Bar, if somebody brought that first pass of copy about to me, and if it had said the word you, if this said the word our or me or I would just turn it around and pass it back to him and say, I need you to rewrite. The focus is always on the reader. We talk about now. So that very specifically, when we do event marketing for your annual conference, I see sometimes these emails that go out that say, hey, our annual conference is going to be October 13th. Thought you would like to know. Well, okay. Like it's kind of a hold the date email, but I don't think anybody really holds the date. You need to be pushing hard to have a call to action that allows them to take action right then. And also, I don't like to get too far ahead with deadlines. So it's a little tricky with events, but especially for membership billing. So if there's a deadline that's 2 months in advance, I'll say your membership is ending soon, renew now. But I'm not going to say your membership ends September 1st, renew now, because it's July 1st. Nobody's going to take action on that. So I'm a little vague sometimes when I've got a deadline so far out. We do come with an angle. So there's usually a little hook or story to our copywriting. We make it skimmable. The only people really in the end that are going to read your email from top to bottom so carefully are you and your boss. Those are the people. Everybody else is just like bloop, 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 bloop. They're looking for bullets and keywords and bolding. You want to make sure you're succinct and that you tell the key story, especially at the top, and then everything else is scannable. And that goes a lot to the structure too. You want to think about how you're structuring it all out. That was the #1 class. People love that copywriting tip. And I see Lori is saying, hey, and hi, Lori. I talked to Lori earlier today. Lori is saying that she's paying attention to it now that often they talk about us at her organization. That's in North Carolina. And she felt like that was one of the best takeaways. Thanks for that nice compliment. You and yours. It's all about you, not about ours. Not our academy, it's your academy. We talked about how to drive email blast results. So do not pass go straight to jail if you are not following these steps. You have to get from one step to the next to the next. So many times people want to jump right into this bubble when they are critiquing the email, but you know where you should start? I am terrible at this. All the way over, I can't do it. All the way over there at the list. There we go. Start at the list. The list is the most important part of your email. That's what decides really your success. Then you think about the day and time, the mechanics. We had a conversation this morning, Lori and I did, about the mechanics of the email send. Then your from address, your subject line, and that preview text. So it doesn't matter what you're saying in the email if somebody doesn't even open it. Finally, you get to that design and copywriting, and then that CTA needs to be in there. Also, you already told me you know what the CTA is, called action. And I'm seeing some mechanical questions in the chat, Tom, so I'd like you to tackle some of those for us. That'd be great. All right, we moved on to our next class, and it was about media types. 5 types of media, right? And when I told you, when I'm doing marketing plans, I'm kind of going through this checklist in my head. So often we talk about, like, we just jump into the email plan, but you've got more to the story and you want to make sure you're covering off on these categories. They may be more or less relevant for your marketing plan, but you need to talk about them nonetheless. And those categories are owned media. This is a tricky one. What does owned media mean? Tell me somebody who remembers what owned media is. It's the hardest one. Yes, Michael, out of the box, he's got it. It's your own magazines, your own website, your own email list, your own, etc. Yep, distribution internal organs. I like that. It's a great description. All right, paid media. This is your online advertising. This is what you do when you do your banner ads. Earned media is a tough one. What's earned media? Who remembers earned media? I'm going to give it a minute. I'm going to make you guys work and lean into that computer. Press coverage, media coverage. Yep, impressions. You got it. This is what other organizations write about you without your involvement. What's placed media? That's, I think, the hardest of all of them. I'm going to wait here. Yes, Gabriel got it right off the list. So This is what other organizations write about you, other media write about you, but you write it for them. And so I think I told you that, like, you may have read articles that about my company Ricochet that run in Associations Now from ASAE. That's an email newsletter. 9 times out of 10, I wrote those for them. They do a light edit. 1 time out of 10, not with Associations Now, I do the light edit, I send it through, and then change the author from me to somebody at the media company. That's always a surprise. But place media is the content that you write and then place in another media outlet. All right, in social media, I know you guys got that one. I'm sure some of you are ready for that answer, but I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to let you do the easy stuff. All right, advertising rule of 7. We've talked about this in multiple classes. What is it? Sponsored content. There's a question. I'm going back. I'm sorry. Question about place media and sponsored content. So sponsored content, I think, is a little different. So sponsored content, they don't touch a word, right? So they don't touch a word, and they place it just like you gave it to them, and it'll be labeled sponsored content. Place media, usually you write it, they edit it, they may tweak it, they may come back to you and tell you they need some changes. That happens a lot in the work that I do with Associations Now. So I distinguish it from sponsored content in that way. Okay. And now you all have the right answers for the rule of 7. Advertising rule of 7 is somebody needs to see a message 7 times before they take action. Now, you probably remember the fun parts of the rule of 7. I hope you do. Who can tell me what decade this rule was developed? Yes, you remember the 1930s. I do appreciate gauge on this class that you remember those details. And what industry came up with the rule of 7? It's an interesting industry because it's been a tough year for them. Yep, Charlotte has it. The film industry. Film. Casinos is probably much more interesting. You don't have to show me things 7 times at the casino for me to take action. I will do it on the first exposure. Walk right up to the blackjack table, or my favorite's actually the roulette table. And since we're talking about distractions, I went to the new Hollywood casino in Fort Lauderdale, actually Hollywood, Florida, which is very nice. It's shaped like a giant guitar that goes up into the sky. There's lasers that go up where like the guitar strings are. A whole light show. The evening entertainment light show was set. It was right after the Super Bowl, and so it was set to oh my gosh, what's her name? J-Lo. So it was a whole J-Lo like extravaganza, which is very odd to see at the Hard Rock Hotel. But if you're in Hollywood, or if you are having an annual conference down here in Florida, and you got a couple of extra days you want to tack on at the end, I really think that casino was a ton of fun, super classy, lots of good games. And Lauren's right; it is owned by the Seminole Indians. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And yep, it was that we just had an earned media commercial. I will tell you one thing, one disappointment though. There's no live roulette. It's all video roulette. And that is not fun to me. I like to sit at the table with other people and talk to the other players and the dealer. All right. And we're going to continue with a lot of interesting conversations just like that. And if you are watching on social media, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to join us for the rest of those conversations. So we're going to say goodbye to the people that we are live broadcasting to, and we're going to